G'day! Today I'm going to show you how quick, clean and easy it is to install Earthwool insulation in the ceiling of your home. This super soft, super sustainable insulation makes a DIY project simple. But hang on, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We need to do a bit of planning before we can do anything. Good planning saves time and money. Now the first thing you need to do is get up on the roof and have a good look around. But hang on, a couple of safety things first. The roof can be a very dangerous place. It's very hot in summer, it's dark, there's a lot of power cables up there.
Right, the breakers.
That's right, so best to turn off the power at the master breaker.
Now, you're going to need a good torch. Up you go. These minor ones are great because it keeps your hands free while you're doing your work upstairs. And also a good rubber-soled shoes. Oh, and when you're on the rafters, be very careful when you're stepping around.
Coming up?
The first thing you're going to do is measure up the roof areas and work up a diagram, taking notes of where the light fixtures or other wiring bits are. Measure it up in blocks so you can then calculate the total square metres required. Then measure the spacing of your ceiling joists. Earthwool is conveniently pre-cut at either 430 or 580mm widths to fit common joist spacing.
Okay, so we know the width of the joists and the area that we want to cover. The next thing to determine is how much product we're going to need and the R factor that we want to achieve. Well, it's actually R value. It's a standard used in building for thermal resistance. The higher the R value, the harder it is for the heating and cooling to escape, the more energy you'll save.
So here's your options. If you haven't got any insulation in your roof, then even a small amount of Earthwool between the joists will make a huge difference. Even R2 or R3. If you've already got some insulation in your roof, but there's still a lot of joist height left, then you can install Earthwool right on top of it. But for the ultimate in thermal efficiency and the ultimate in energy savings, add a topping layer perpendicular to the joists.
So, let's get installing. But best to do this with a buddy. You ready?
And what you'll need to wear is
Sensible clothes, comfy lightweight shoes, gloves, eye protection, a torch or portable light, a retractable knife, a serrated bread knife with a holster, a tape measure, and if it's dusty, a face mask. And of course the all-important installer stick. A broom handle is fine.
And let's be sensible about this. Don't go up there if it's a stinking hot day. Wait for a cooler day or do it early in the morning. Take plenty of breaks and drink lots of water. Okay, so the power's off, there's nothing in the fridge to worry about. Let's do it.
We'll check out the sketch we did earlier and familiarise ourselves with the location of the devices that we marked. Notice we brought up some boards that we can kneel on. Wouldn't want to go through the roof. Best to cover 3 or 4 joists. First step is to open your Earthwool packs. If it's bats, then just slice the packaging down the side and they'll spring out. And for rolls, just roll them out. You'll need to energise Earthwool by giving it a bit of a shake and a bounce on its side. This helps it to expand to the thickness that's stated on the pack. Start furthest away from the access hole, working your way from the outside edges in. Squeeze the Earthwool in nice and snug against the joists, and using your patented installer stick, push it into those hard-to-get spots. You need to take a lot of care when installing Earthwool around downlights, extractor fans, chimney elements, and any other electrical equipment. For ceiling downlights, cut a semicircle from 2 end pieces and butt them together, leaving 200mm clearance from the fixture. The transformer is best placed on top of the insulation so it can disperse heat. Or alternatively, you can install some plastic covers. They just clip together, you place the transformer on top, and then pack the insulation snugly around it. It's comforting to know that Earthwool will never catch on fire. Regardless, try not to cover any wiring as it may overheat and fail. So lift all cables and push the insulation under them. Use all of your offcuts to fill any voids or if there's any areas where the joist spacing is wider than the insulation. And make sure you've got a good snug fit wherever 2 ends butt together. Now, if you're going the whole hog and doing the topping layer, then use the wider 580mm rolls because it'll be quicker. You don't have to be too precious about this as you're just covering up everything below. But again, don't cover up any electrical cables. Now would you take a look at that? Just beautiful. And you're done.